Okay, so let's start on our belly today. And this is what I call a crocodile pose. I didn't give it that name. I think I'm not sure how traditional that name is or what, but let's just try and come on to our belly. We'll lay flat. You can bring your right hand over your left hand. Just rest your forehead on the hands there. And just, I'm going to invite you to take a moment not to concern yourself with what you think is coming, and just see if you can really sink into this moment. And the way to do that, the best way to do that, is just to really allow whatever it is you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, any emotions that are there. Now, many of us have certain experiences, thoughts, emotions, sensations that we resist. It's pretty normal as human beings. But just in this moment, to the degree that you feel it's okay or safe to do so, see if you can just allow all those things to be just as they are. All your bodily sensations you're feeling, the emotions, any thoughts, concerns, or worries. So, in a sense, like calling a truce with everything. I know, there's certain things we like, certain things we don't like. In yoga, that's called raga and devesha. But for this moment, let's see if we can let go of our own personal likes and dislikes. And we just sort of come to a moment where we're like, okay, this moment just is what it is. And I'm going to really allow it as fully as I can. Now, as you do that, you might notice a sort of natural relaxation that comes in, a natural sense of spaciousness or openness that begins to pervade your experience. And you might naturally begin to feel or notice your breath more. So usually when we're in our heads a lot, we don't even realize we're breathing. But as we begin to just allow what is, we notice, oh, there's a breath here. It's coming and going constantly. The breath often reflects the state of the nervous system. So if we are very anxious and nervous, our breath might be very fast. We might take a breath in and kind of hold it, find that there's a sort of holding of the breath. So just notice what the breath is doing right now. How does the breath feel to you? Now, one of the things we do in this style of practice that we don't do in the yin practice is we actually try and encourage the breath to be very balanced. So let's start doing that. As you inhale, fill first the belly. You might feel your belly pressing into the ground, and then the ribs, and then the upper chest. Count that, and then as you exhale, count the exhalation, and see if you can make the inhale and the exhale the same length. So it doesn't matter what number you come up with. If you inhale 3, try and exhale 3. If you inhale 5, then exhale 5. And notice how that feels. Does that feel okay? Did that shift or change anything for you? Did the body respond, or did your emotional state fluctuate or change as a result? There's no right answer here. These are just things to look at. So that's called dirga. And now we will add what we call ujjayi. And so that's sort of like a hissing sound, an ocean sound at the back of the throat. Very slow, but with the mouth closed. And the exhale is very, very easy, but with a little practice, you should be able to do that on the inhale as well. So those two breathing techniques, to the best of your ability. And again, you might notice that adding Ujjayi, there's might be a subtle shift in the body, in your mental state, right? The mind might calm, the flow of thoughts might slow down. You might get a general sense of spaciousness and openness to experience. So from this place, we'll begin with opening up parts of the hips and the legs for today's class. So very simple. We're going to keep the breathing exactly the same, but we'll just pull the right foot in like this. So I call this kicking your own butt. So you could prop yourself up on your elbows if you want. It's not necessary. I'm just doing it because it's a little easier to teach this way. So notice I'm not holding that leg still. I'm moving it back and forth, right? So we're just doing this a few times. And then let's see if we can pull it in and then reach back, and we'll just pull that foot in manually and take a few breaths. This is very similar to a pose called half frog, but I'm not going to worry about the alignment. Just want to feel a stretch there in the front of that right thigh. Okay, so we're just pulling the foot. Some people will feel it way back here, and some people may even not be able to hold the foot. So feel free to grab a strap and do that, but just a gentle stretch there at the front of the thigh. And then we'll release that right leg. And let's do the same thing on the other side. So when I teach this in person, I sometimes see people, they're not moving. So notice if there's resistance to moving. You know, notice if you just want to hold still and hold the stretch. And then the opposite can also be true. Some people want to move all the time and they don't want to be still. So this often points to something inside of us, an imbalance inside of us. Either state is not ideal all the time. We don't always want to move. We don't always want to be still or resistant to movement. So right now we're moving. And then we'll pull that leg in. We're going to reach back and we'll just be still for a little bit. Feel that stretch at the front of the thigh. Allow that. Take a few deep breaths, just allowing those sensations. All right, good. From there, let's press back to a tabletop position. And we'll do a few cat-cows here. So inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops, crown of the head up. Exhale, tuck tailbone, round the back, crown of the head down. So really feel that back as you move it. What's going on there? And after a few forward and back movements, also try some variety. So a few side to side. You can move your head and neck, shrug your shoulders. See if you can really find any stiffness or pain or soreness there that this position reveals. So really trying everything out. And if you find something, see if you can repeat the movement gently as a way of releasing it. Okay, from there, let's go ahead and tuck our toes. We'll lift our hips and come into a down dog. And we'll move in this first down dog. So we're pedaling back and forth. You can roll over those toes, circle the ankles, kick the legs, bend the knees. Okay, and then eventually coming into your full down dog. Hands are shoulder width, fingers are spread wide. Chest is drawing back toward the toes, feet are hip distance, and heels are reaching toward the ground. Now reconnect with the breath if you've lost that awareness. What's the breath doing here? All right, with an exhale, we walk our feet to the hands. And this is ragdoll. Gentle stretch for the back of the body so you can grab the opposite elbow, nod or shake the head, sway the hips. So again, how can I use movement to help create a sense of openness and spaciousness and to release tension, holding, pain? And the answer may not be obvious right away. So just explore, be willing to explore. Be willing to not have the answer and not know. Very important. With arms relaxed, we'll inhale and gradually stand up, stacking ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels. And then we'll do a few active sun salutations here. So if you can bring the feet to touch, that's a nice way to start this. Otherwise, feet hip distance is perfectly fine. And then we'll inhale, arms up, touch palms, lift the heart. And we exhale to a forward fold. Inhaling to the half lift. Let's exhale to the top of a push-up, a plank pose. So ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels in one nice straight line. Those wrists are directly below the shoulders. So wrists, elbows, shoulders, basically stacked. And I'm actively, so if you look at my shoulders real quick, this is not active, okay? And then this is active. So hopefully you can try that yourself. So active, pressing the ground away. Let's take a nice deep breath. Exhale, drop those knees and bend the elbows. And notice how my elbows are right next to my ribs. That's where you want to go. Take a breath or two there. Kind of an awkward position to hold. And then with the next exhale, the rest of the way down. And then release the tops of the feet to the mat. Bring them together. Inhale, lift the head, neck, and chest. This is Cobra. And then exhale, lower back down. Press back to a tabletop, tuck the toes, and lift the hips for the downward dog. Okay, let's do another. So we'll inhale to the toes. We exhale front edge of the mat. Let's inhale all the way to our standing back bend. Let's add a side stretch. So we'll grab the right wrist to the left hand, hips go to the right, arms to the left, stretching the side. Let's inhale through center, switch wrists. We exhale to the other side. Inhale through center and exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale again, top of your push-up. Okay. And then from here, knees up or down is your choice. Okay, so knees up is harder. I hope that's obvious. But if you have trouble with push-ups, then just drop those knees. It's much better than keeping them up, okay? Let's take a deep breath. Exhale halfway down. Inhale, straighten the arms and legs. Up dog, knees are off the ground. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Legs are active. And then exhale both feet at the same time as you lift the hips up and back. Okay, let's do one more. So we inhale, fill the lungs, exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale to the standing back bend. And we exhale to our side stretch. These are all postures we've already done. Inhale through center. Exhale, Ardha Chandrasana on the other side. So inhale through center, and we exhale as we sit into an imaginary seat. That's the chair pose. So just as we talked about at the beginning, can I just relax with the sensations of this posture? The sensations in my own body are creating. So that's a really important thing to remember when you're doing meditation or you're doing yoga. Usually, it's just you and your body. You're just moving or not moving your own body. So what's the experience as we move our own body? What's the experience as we sit still in meditation, right? So it's very interesting to just monitor that, observe that. Okay, we inhale to a standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, and we exhale. If you can, jump back bottom of your push-up. Inhale, up dog. And on your exhale, let's do a push-up on our way back to the downward dog. All right. Hopefully you're beginning to feel warmed up at this stage, and we'll use that warmth to open up the body even more. So let's begin with our hips, feet touch. Inhale, right leg up and back. So we exhale, we'll bring the knee toward the chest, out to the right and back behind. So these are big circles we're making. Notice my knee stays bent, right? So I'm not trying to kick that leg up. Do a few in each direction. Feel the hip as you move it. Good. And then as you exhale, lunge and inhale to this pose, Ashtha Chandrasana, high lunge pose. Okay. So front foot and knee straight ahead. We lunge that knee directly over the heel. The right thigh is approaching parallel. So parallel would be like there. I'm not quite there. I'll probably fall out of it if I do that. But I'm working in that direction, right? The back heel is down, back leg is straight, left hip forward, right hip back. Arms are straight up and back. Now, what do I feel here? Physically, what's happening? What is the breath doing? How does my energy feel, my power? What kind of emotions does this elicit? What sorts of thoughts or judgments come up for me? Good, deep breath, exhale, bottom of the push-up, make your way back to downward dog. So postures like those lunges require strength and power. And many people are not comfortable with strength and power. So when they're in that position, they might feel a lot of resistance to holding that. So just notice if that arises for you. Okay, side two, feet touch. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee toward the belly, to the left and back behind. So just big circles here. Take your time with it. So you don't have to rush through it. Notice if you are rushing through it, why? What do you think you're going to get by moving through it more quickly? All right, let's take a deep breath. We exhale and lunge and inhale to our crescent lunge. So every posture, every asana is a potential meditation. And that's what I guided you through on the first side there. You know, get your alignment right, get your posture in order, but don't spend the whole time doing that. Spend some time introspecting. Physically, what do I feel? Energetically, what is the breath doing? What's my power like here? Do I have energy to hold this? Do I have strength to hold this? Emotionally, how do I feel? Do I feel powerful and strong, or do I feel like, oh, I just can't do this? Right? And then mentally, right, that thought might actually come up. I can't do this, right? He's holding it too long. It's too much. So instead of believing those thoughts, see if you can just notice them. Hear them, like really in your own mind, hear those thoughts. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way to downward dog. All right, today we're focusing on backward bends. So let's exhale forward onto our belly. And we'll bring our arms out in front of us like so. Okay, and we'll start with a very simple back bend, Ardha Shalabhasana. So as we inhale, let's lift the right arm, leg. You can lift the head. Notice my right hip is on the ground, but everything else I'm going to lift as high as I can. Left hand and foot on the ground. Now again, coming fully into that experience, notice if there's resistance there. Notice if you're holding your breath. Can you let the breath flow? Good. Exhale. Let's put that side down. And then inhale, left side up. Same thing. This is Ardha Shalabhasana, half locust. So again, a thought may arise, I can't do this. You might have the impulse, I need to lower my arm and my leg. But honestly, what do you think is going to happen? This doesn't feel good for me either, just FYI. It's pretty intense. But again, we a lot of times think we can't take intensity. But is it really true? What happens if I just keep my arm and leg lifted? Good. Exhale, come on down, relax. So as strange as it sounds, what the modern science is going to tell us is doing that on a regular basis actually helps you manage and deal with your stress in life. Putting yourself intentionally, consciously into a stressful situation, a physically stressful situation like that one, can actually help you manage your emotional, mental, and physical stress long term. This is why yoga is so powerful for us. Okay, from there, you can vinyasa or go straight back to down dog. I'll go straight back because I get winded if I do too many vinyasas while I'm teaching. Okay, great work. So let's do a little twisting. So we'll inhale to the toes, exhale, front edge of the mat. Let's inhale, standing back bend. And we exhale, chair pose. We're going to open up to the right side. Okay, so reaching fingertips forward and back. The right shoulder's back, but the right hip is forward. I'm looking back. Okay, good. Let's inhale, standing back bend, and exhale, other side. So again, left shoulder back, left hip forward. Good. Let's inhale back to standing back bend, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of your push-up. Make your way to downward dog. Okay, great work. So from here, let's bring our feet to touch. We'll inhale the right leg up and back. This is one we do a lot, three-legged dog. Okay, so the leg is straight. It's lifted as high as I can, but I'm not lifting the hip, right, which would look like that. So many people do that, trying to lift that leg higher. It's not just lift the leg, it's lift the leg while keeping the hip squared off. Notice my foot. It's flexed, the toes, knee, and hip are pointing toward the ground, okay? And this will come back later. Let's exhale, we'll lunge, and then inhale to a crescent lunge, okay, once again. Now I'm going to turn just for the camera, so you don't need to turn on your mat, but I'm going to turn so that I'm visible. We're going to flow a little bit. So from our crescent lunge, let's exhale, we'll just bend those arms. Okay, these are like cactus or goalpost arms. We're going to do this a lot today, okay? And then as I inhale, I come to this position, which is stupa. Stupa is like a Buddhist monument. So I sometimes call this monument or temple. Okay, so it's neutral, the toes are out, pointing at an angle. Everything is neutral, not really feeling anything much here, okay? And then as we exhale, we pivot and turn to crescent with goalpost arms. I'm just going to call it crescent, okay? All right, so let's do that again. We inhale up, and we exhale crescent facing the front of the mat. Good, so we're just flowing with the breath now. Now, let's inhale back to stupa, and we exhale to goddess pose. Okay, so the knees are over the heels. The toes and knees point out at an angle. Again, the thighs are approaching parallel. So again, this would be parallel. It's a little too intense for me. Okay, I don't think I could hold it for very long, so I'm not going to go there. But I'm still looking for an edge. So I'm not up here. I'm not making it super easy. A little bit of challenge. And the arms are basically mirroring the legs here. Again, what's the breath doing? What do I feel physically? I feel a little trembling or shaking in my legs. Emotionally, am I angry? Am I frustrated? Am I peaceful? And then mentally, what story is my mind telling me right now? Again, I can't do this, it's too much, it's too long, it's too hard, I'm too old, I'm injured. Okay, we inhale back up. Let's exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale the arms up and exhale bottom of the push-up as you make your way to down dog. Okay, so let's do that on the other side. So feet touch, we inhale left leg up and back, three-legged dog pose. Notice the effort that you're making. In Buddhism and yoga, there's a term, right effort. There's such a thing as making too much effort. There's also such a thing as making too little effort. Good, let's exhale, lunge. We inhale to crescent lunge. Let's exhale, bend those arms. Inhale to stupa. Exhale, crescent lunge facing the back of the mat. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, facing front. And just with the breath. Good, now this time, let's exhale again to another goddess pose. So again, find that edge where there's a little bit of, maybe a little tiny bit of fear, a little bit of uneasiness. And then see if with that uneasiness, you can actually learn to relax with it, right? So you're not like, I'm uneasy, so now I'm going to relax. Rather, you're staying with that discomfort. And you could use your breath. So slowing down the breath. But also mentally and emotionally, a lot of times there's a sort of grasping that happens, right? When we get afraid or when we're experiencing something we don't like, a resistance. So you might find if you can just learn to relax the mind, let the heart relax, feel the sensations. Again, I feel it. It's not pleasant. Just allowing. Okay, good. Let's inhale back up, stupa. We exhale, crescent. Inhale the arms up and exhale, bottom of the push-up. So hopefully you all can see I'm just like dripping sweat here. So I have to turn off my AC when I teach. So very hot, very uncomfortable. But again, what we're learning, what yogis have known forever, and what we're learning with modern science is that allowing that discomfort, again, is actually going to expand my comfort zone, make me healthier, okay? All right, from there, let's take a nice deep breath. We exhale onto the belly. And let's take another look at the locust, okay? So again, I love this back bend. So simple, but really, really powerful. Oftentimes we mistake simplicity with easy or not powerful, but just the opposite is usually true. A lot of times the simplest things are actually the most powerful, transformative. So let's again extend our arms out in front of us, mouth, chin, forehead on the mat. And then as we inhale, let's just lift everything that we can lift. The mind might already be complaining, right? You might be holding your breath. You might be making a face, clenching your jaw, pursing your lips, furrowing your brow. Can you stay in the posture, allow the intensity that the posture brings, but mentally, emotionally relax around the experience? Good. Exhale, come on down. And then from there, you can vinyasa, make your way to down dog. Okay, from here, let's inhale to our toes. We exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale up to a standing back bend. Exhale to a chair twist. Inhale back up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back up. And then exhale, let's bring the left elbow to the right thigh. Okay, so a prayer twist. Hips down, right? Spine long, so reaching the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Palms together directly between the elbows. I'm pushing my right shoulder back and I'm looking up. Okay. Good. Let's inhale back up. And we exhale, twisting to the other side. Good. Inhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of your push-up. Make your way to down dog. Okay. From here, let's bring our feet to touch. We'll inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee. Just touch the right arm as high as you can. Take a breath.
Good. Inhale that leg up and back. Exhale to try and touch your nose or your chin or your forehead with the knee. Good. Inhale that leg up and back. Exhale to the opposite arm. And then just kick that foot out. Drop the back heel. And let's inhale the left arm up to fallen triangle pose. Good. Exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale as you lunge. Again, I'll turn just so I can continue facing the camera. Okay. Let's inhale up to crescent. We exhale, bend those arms. Good. We inhale goddess, or sorry, stupa, monument, and exhale goddess. Good. Inhale back up and exhale crescent lunge. Good. And we're just going to flow that a few times. Goddess. Inhale. Crescent. Inhale. Goddess. Inhale. Crescent. Good. Inhale. Goddess. Inhale. And then crescent facing front, right? Then inhale, arms up. Now, if you have an injury, right, if this pinches your shoulders, you can bring your hands down, you can bend those arms, you can bring your hands to the heart. But if you don't have an injury, if your arms are just tired, please just keep them raised. That's how you get them stronger, okay? So keep those arms raised, framing the ears, and with an exhale, kick off the back leg into a warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3 pose, okay? So left foot is flexed, just like three-legged dog. The heel reaching away from the crown of the head and the fingertips. Fingertips and crown of the head reaching away from that heel. Left hip down, level with the right. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bottom of the push-up, and make your way to down dog. All right. Let's try the other side. So feet touch. We inhale, left leg up and back. Right. Exhale, the knee high up on the left arm. Just touch, tap. Inhale. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale, opposite arm. Kick it out. And inhale, fallen triangle pose. Make sure that left shoulder is engaged again. Good. Let's exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, goal post. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent lunge with goal post arms. Good. Inhale back up. Exhale, goddess. Inhale. Exhale, crescent. Just with the breath. Inhaling up. Exhaling into pose. Inhaling up. Exhaling into pose. Inhale. Exhale, goddess. Inhale. Exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale those arms up. And exhale as gracefully as you can to a warrior 3. So notice if the mind is moving into the future. See if you can just keep it right here. My leg is trembling, so I can just Feel that leg trembling. Let it tremble. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up as you make your way to down dog. Nice and intense. Again, please don't ever think that just because I'm teaching this, that means it's not intense for me. That would be very inaccurate. Okay? All right. So exhale onto the belly. Let's take a look at a back bend called the half bow. So we come on down and we bend the right knee. Remember we did this earlier. So reach back, we grab the foot. Foot, the ankle, the shin, any of those are fine with me. Okay? Now some people like to flex their foot. That can help protect your knee if you have bad knees. But don't feel like you have to do it that way. Okay, exhale here. And as you inhale, let's kick that right leg up and back. Lift the head as well. I'm going to keep my left hand and foot on the ground if you can see. So what does this elicit for us? Good. Exhale, come on down. Relax. And then side two, same thing. This is half bow, Ardha Dhanurasana. Exhale here, and then inhale, lifting and kicking up. Good. Exhale, release. Come on down. And as you're ready, make your way to down dog. Okay, from here, let's inhale to our toes. Exhale, front edge of the mat. We inhale up to standing back bend. And then we exhale as we turn to the right. Okay. Inhale, open those arms. And if you are able to, keep your arm in contact with the leg. And just carefully bring your hands to the ground, about shoulder width. Okay, look forward. And then see if you can gradually shift weight from the feet to the hands. And the feet lift eventually as you do that. And that's called a side crow. Now again, I'm going to invite you to bring awareness to whatever you're doing. So if you're afraid to do that, be aware of the fear, okay? If you are like adamant to do that, determined to do that, notice that, right? Where does that come from? What is that about? If you are, trying to force that or something like that, notice that, okay? Okay, let's inhale back to standing back bend. So we release that completely. Let's exhale over to the other side. Inhale, open the arms. And then again, a lot of thoughts can come up, right? I can't do this because, or I have to do this. So again, what we're really looking for is freedom inside. These compulsions, these drives, I always have to do it. I never can do it. These things, we really want to notice what's going on inside of us, okay? So again, all of it's just an opportunity for awareness. Okay, let's go ahead and inhale back to standing back bend. We exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bottom the push-up. Like I said, I will check the time here, see how we're doing. Okay, so this is our peak round where we do the hardest variations that we've been building up toward. So let's bring our feet to touch here. We inhale the right leg up and back. Bend the knee, open the hip. Now this might be as far as you feel like you can go, which is fine. But if it feels okay, safe, you can flip your dog over. And you can do this, which is called a wild thing. Flipping your dog. Let's move that free arm around a little bit. Give it a good stretch. Again, this left arm active, right? I'm pressing the ground away. Okay, we exhale and lunge. Again, I'll turn just for the camera. And then we inhale to a crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the arms. Inhale to a stupa, right? Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent facing back. Inhale to a warrior 3, right? Exhale, crescent. Good. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent facing back. Inhale, or facing front, sorry. Inhale, warrior 3. Exhale, crescent with goalpost arms. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent facing back. Inhale, warrior 3. Exhale, crescent. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent facing back or facing front. Inhale, arms up. Now exhale, grow some wings. Join the index finger and the thumb. Okay. And then exhale to this pose. This is called bird pose. Now there's a few little details I want you to notice. My foot is flexed, right? And I'm pulling my heel towards my buttocks. My pelvis is facing the ground, but my chest is facing forward. I'm in a back bend. I'm looking forward, not down. Okay, so it's not warrior 3 with the arms out. It's a very different posture. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up and make your way to down dog. Again, if you think that that's easy for me or that it's not intense, you're absolutely wrong about that. So very intense experience for me. Okay, side 2, feet touch. Inhale, left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, and maybe you flip it over. Up to you. Doesn't make sense for everybody, especially if you have some serious injuries going on in your shoulders. Okay, exhale, lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, goalpost arms. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, up. Exhale, crescent. Inhale, warrior. Exhale, crescent. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent. Inhale, warrior 3. Balancing warrior. Good. Exhale, crescent. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent. And then inhale to your warrior 3. Exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent facing back, right? Then inhale the arms up. Exhale, grow some wings. And then inhale to Dvijasana, bird pose. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bottom of your push-up, making your way to downward dog. All right, let's exhale onto our belly. Lay on down. Let's bring the right hand over the left hand. Okay, let's take a look at our floor bow, the full version. So bend both knees. Now, if you can't do these where you bend the knees and grab the feet, just repeat the Shalabhasana, the locust that we did earlier, where the legs and arms are straight, okay? Otherwise, reaching back. Again, the feet can flex or point. That's up to you. You can hold the feet, the ankles, the shins. It's also up to you. Exhale here, and as you inhale, let's kick up and back as we come into our full expression of the bow pose. Good. Exhale, come on down. Left hand over the right hand, forehead on the back of the hands. Just breathe and relax. Okay, let's bring the arms out like wings, palms down. Just bend the knees and gently just let those feet go side to side. Nice and easy. So do as many of those as you'd like, and then when you're finished, just press back to a kneeling seat if you are able. Okay, so some people, this might hurt your knees, then just take a regular seat. This is called Vajrasana. In Yin, we call it Seiza. Also Virasana, so just depending on the tradition. Okay, so we're sitting down, kneeling. Okay, so Virasana is our starting position. Let's bring our hips over the knees. We'll take our knees hip distance or slightly wider is okay. And however wide your knees are, your feet should also be. Okay, so we don't want the feet out here. We don't want them in here. Just feet behind the knees, essentially. Now, if you'd like, you can tuck your toes, lift your heels, make it a little easier to grab. One thing that yoga teachers often don't talk a lot about is proportions. So, if I have really long arms, it's going to be easy for me to grab my heels. If I have long arms and maybe a short torso, but if I have a long torso and short arms, then it may be really difficult to grab my heels, okay? All right, so hands on the back, and then inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, begin going back. Just explore. Enjoy the sensations here. And you can ask, does it make sense for me to go further or deeper? A few ways you can explore that is grabbing the heels. Or you could even grab your ankles or your calves or the front of your knees, depending on your flexibility. And another way is letting that chin drop back. Good. Let's inhale, come back up. And then again, if it's in your vocabulary, in your movement vocabulary, you just sit back into Vajrasana. Hands to thighs, close your eyes, relax, breathe. Good, so let's come up and we'll do a few of these sort of like we did in the warm-up. Just dropping the hips side to side. You can go, go as far as you like or as shallow as you like. So this is just for you to kind of reset things. And then we'll cross those ankles, sit back, and let's bring arms and legs out in front of us. And we'll try one more. So inhale and exhale as you roll back. Good. Now let's bend those knees, feet on the ground. And again, I want feet and knees approximately hip width, maybe a little wider if you've had back pain in the past doing this posture. Let's start with a bridge, okay, before we get into any kind of wheel business. So we inhale, lift those hips up. And then if I'm staying here, I can just interlace those fingers, shrug my shoulders underneath me, and hold this position. Okay, and then that's the bridge pose. If I feel nice and warmed up in the back, I want to go a little further. Then I can bring my hands alongside my head, and I can press up into what's called a wheel. Good. Take your time, but when you're ready, exhale, come on down. Let's drop those knees in, feet out, knees in. That's called constructive rest. Feel the rebound. And then we can again counter stretch here, gently, knees dropping side to side. Okay, from there, let's bring those legs in, give them a little squeeze. And then we can take those knees down to the left as we look to the right. So inhale, knees through center, and we'll exhale them off to the other side. Good. Inhale, knees back to center. Grab the soles of the feet for happy baby. Give everything a good stretch. Take your time. And when you're finished, just unwind onto your back completely. Shavasana.